My name's Hazem, and today I'm going to show you how to launch an EC2 server. First thing you want to do when you're logged into your Amazon AWS account is choose the availability zone. So in this case, we're going to choose Northern Virginia, and then we just go to instances, and then we have no instances running, so we press launch instance. So the first thing you want to do is give your instance a name. So we're going to call this Ubuntu. Doesn't have to be unique. Now you can launch multiple instances at the same time. So you can launch, say, 20 servers at the same time with the same configuration. In your first year of AWS, you can have 750 hours of T2 micro or T3 micro, and it depends on the machine image. So the default machine image right now is Amazon Linux, which is 2023. So you can choose which operating system you want your server to have. So we got Amazon Linux, and within that we've got so many different types, including NVIDIA Deep Learning OSS, which is for the artificial intelligence applications that are coming out. So if you want to build an AI app, you want to choose one of these deep learning OSS NVIDIA drivers. Now, the type of image that you choose affects the hourly cost of the server and also affects the type of hardware that you can have. So we've got Amazon Linux, we've got Mac OS. Within that, we've got several different versions. We've got Ubuntu, and within Ubuntu, we've also got NVIDIA driver. So you can build an AI server on Ubuntu with NVIDIA. So that's the first step. We also have Windows. So if we change to Windows, we've got Windows Server from 2016 to 2022. Can't really do AI on these, but we've got now if you're doing any kind of application that requires a database, you'll want to choose Windows Server with SQL Server. And if you're doing like remote desktop, then you can choose Windows Server with Office Professional. If you're doing any type of programming, you can choose Windows Server with Microsoft Visual Studio. Also got Red Hat Linux, and we've got SUSE Linux. So in this case, let's say that we're going to build an artificial intelligence application. So we're going to go with Ubuntu, and then we're going to choose a Ubuntu with a deep learning base OSS. So you'll notice here this is an NVIDIA graphic processing unit that's designed for AI, but it's running a Ubuntu operating system. So the AI is only available with certain types of operating systems here. So you can choose a 64-bit x86 or ARM processor, and then when we choose the hardware type that we want. So if we're gonna go with x86, for example, now you can see we've got different types of instances. So all the way from the T2 Nano all the way down to the 3 large. So if you look at the ZD1 metal, it's $6 an hour. So that's about a few thousand a month versus, this one's less than 1 cent per hour. It's 0.008 cents per hour. So it's going to cost you basically 12 cents a day to operate the server, or a few dollars a month. But you've only got half a gig of memory. So there's very little you can do with that unless you've got a really interesting application. Because your operating system is going to take up a lot of that at processing speed. So I would say we try this T2 large, for example. So they're optimized for different types of applications depending on what you're doing. You think about how many CPUs you need and how much RAM you need. So this one's massive. It's got 128 processors, 512 gigs of RAM. So if we pick, let's say, T2 large, so we're going to do that. Now, the next thing you want to do is you must have a key pair so you can connect to your instance. So we're going to choose to create a new key pair. And we're going to do hasm, you give it a name. And then I don't recommend leaving out. So now we're going to create this key, and the key downloaded to our computer. You must save this key in a very safe place because it's created in your web browser, so you can't see it anywhere else. Amazon doesn't keep a copy. And now we create a security group where we can use an existing security group. Security groups are very important to protect your server. So right now we've got our we're creating a new security group which is going to allow SSH traffic from anywhere in the world, but I would recommend not doing that and just choosing your own IP address. So at a minimum, so all traffic to your server will be disallowed except for SSH traffic from your IP address. Now, if you're using this as a web server, then you'll also want to open up HTTP and HTTPS traffic. So port 80 and port 442, I can't remember, 445 or whatever it is. Now you'll want to set up a hard drive, so you can choose as how big of a hard drive you want in gigabytes. Remember, you're paying like 10 cents per gigabyte per month, and you can choose an SSD or provisioned input-output operations. So if you're choosing provisioned, you'll get more um, better performance on your drive, and then you can add multiple drives to your computer, but additional drives become elastic block storage volumes, which is good because you can move them to different servers if you need to, and we've got different types there. We'll talk about that in another video. But so now we've set up our server. We can, if you're using a Windows domain, you can join to a domain. You can also choose a host name. You can choose what happens when a server is shut down. Does it stop or does it terminate? You can also choose whether your server can hibernate. You can add a GPU. You can also buy instances on the market, so you can pay upfront for your server if you want. So now we've created our server. So we just press launch instance. This is very important. So now it's going to take a few minutes, and then we're going to take a look here and see our instance. So it's still creating. So in the next video, we're going to learn how to actually connect to this. But you can see we've already got our server, and it's pending, and it's got a public IP address 3.85.54.178. So it's actually running now. So the next video, we're going to learn more. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Thank you.